what's crazy is I will wake up sometimes and I'll just have new information in my head that I didn't learn. Like, nobody taught me that in that time frame. But I'll just know this information, and I'll start talking about certain things, and I'll like spit out this information, and I'm like, where did that come from? And I'll double check myself to make sure it's true. And I'm like, how did I know that? I didn't learn that. And that's when it's, I mean, that's some Matrix shit, but I don't want to get into that because y'all think I'm crazy. Funny because like what's happening now to everyone is what I've been doing for a while. Like it's the last like month, it's kind of what I've been doing. And it's really, really helped. You guys know I took a little break from social media. I was still looking at stuff here and there, but I wasn't like sitting on it because it's draining, especially when you get a lot of negative comments, which I get a lot. Especially on the YouTube, like I just read through it, it's like negative. People find anything to be mad about, and I'm not the kind of person that like defends myself ever. On Instagram I see comments and things that aren't true, but especially on YouTube, like imagine people saying over and over again that you are going to rehab, as if like they know that, as if they know anything about you. I do not go to rehab, but I mean I could maybe see why someone would think that, because I said I was going away for 2 weeks. It sounds it sounds like I could be maybe hiding something, but no, I did not go to rehab. I spent some time with family. I was actually traveling a lot, getting this house situated. People are very quick to assume the worst in any situation, especially with me. And I mean, I can see why, because I'm kind of all over the place. But I guess I don't feel any guilt, because what's the worst I do? Make fun of myself, laugh at myself, curse, make kind of inappropriate jokes sometimes, but not offensive at all, just inappropriate. Right? Does that make me a bad person? I don't think so, but I guess that's, it's up to you. It's your opinion. It's how you take things. But you have to understand that everyone doesn't take things the way you do. And some would say that it's disrespectful for me to wear crosses on me because I don't go to church, and I'm not someone that looks like they would be close to God. But I think God, if he is a real thing, I don't know. I like to look into those things, but I don't know. I would like to think if it was a real thing, he would see people's true character. He wouldn't look at the things they did when people were watching and the things they did to appear a certain way. He would see their true character. And it takes certain situations to see people's true character. And I hope that throughout this YouTube channel, which I haven't had that long, but I've had a lot of fun with it, and me and Ted did a lot of videos together, I hope that you can see my true character and see that the worst you're gonna get from me is some curse words and maybe some sex talk, and just talking about things that everyone does that, for some reason society has made it so that we can't talk about those things. My viewpoint of everything is, if you don't like something, don't watch it. If you don't like something, don't talk about it. It's one thing if you watch something once, you don't like it, okay, never watch it again. And if it's asked of you, you say, oh, I didn't like that. But I just, it's like the people that they leave the hateful comments all the time. It's like, why are you still watching? Those are your biggest fans, and that's why you can't get upset about those people, because those are the ones that are meticulously watching to find something wrong. And you really got to look at yourself in the mirror. And if you're trying to pick people apart and trying to find something wrong with other people, then you're probably not very happy. And the reason I know this is because I was like this for a very long time. Trust me. When I was younger, I was very insecure, was not happy with who I was. Just because of that, I would try to tear apart other people and try to, ruin good friendships and relationships I had, because I just wasn't happy with myself. So that is like the first step to accomplishing anything, is liking yourself. Now it's like I genuinely love who I am inside. So I don't care what I look like. I mean, I prefer to look certain ways, but it doesn't matter, because I know that there's nobody in the world like me. Not because of something on the outside, because of my brain. Because of the way that I talk and the way that I do things and the way that I interact with people and my emotions and my manic, crazy, different personalities. That's me. Also, before you talk about people, you have to keep in mind that what you see might not be reality. Meaning, what you see from your eyes could be completely different in another world, or in some, just not even another world, but from someone else's perspective. And, you know, think about what you don't see. So if you know, all you see of me is me being an idiot and running around laughing, joking, that's what you see. But you have no idea what else I do with my life. And I'm not talking about that at all, but my point is I could be living a whole nother life and nobody would even know it. So then I sit there and I let people see this side of me, or this role that I want to play, whatever the case. And I see how people treat me. And I see how many people talk to me like I'm stupid, try to take advantage of me, disrespect me, and I just keep a tally of it. You just think about it in your head. And let me tell you what I learned was karma is a very real thing. And I got some because I did some things I shouldn't have done for a long time. Little things, but just like not caring about myself was the issue, which is why I was acting out, because I didn't care about myself. I didn't love myself. Back to the point, you have to love yourself. You have to, at some point in your life, you have to sit in the front of the mirror, stand in front of the mirror, actually. I'm gonna do it right now. And you have to sit there and realize that there are things that you don't like that you can't not change. You know, I look at my body and I think, okay, this, you know, I can trim this up, I can tighten that up, but this, my frame is the way that it is. Like, I get blessed in certain parts of, I guess, bodybuilding, whereas like I can grow my glutes and my legs pretty easily, which is nice. A lot of girls have issues putting on size there. I can do that, but my waist is very it's just very big. Like even when I'm lean, like I'm very lean right now for me, it's still never gonna be a tiny little waist. It's just not the way that I'm built. And I've gotten down to low body fats before, our body fat percentages, and it still is that shape. It's just a smaller version of that shape. So I realize I can't just be upset about that forever. I have to just realize that this is what it is. I can do the best I can do with it, and realize that whoever's looking at me probably is not focused on that or concerned with that. Because I look at, you know, if I'm looking at a girl to see if I find her attractive or not, I'm not looking at, oh, her gut's a little bit sticking out. Like, that is not what I'm looking at. I don't care. Usually I'm freaked out by, from someone that wants abs so bad. I don't like abs on other people. They scare me. Like, I want to have like a comfy like stomach to lay on. Look at this shirt. Look at this ass. That's all I want to do. Ever. But I am really into like pajama sets right now. That's my thing. Because they're just like so comfortable. It's like the softest material you can get. It's so much better than workout clothes. I hate workout clothes. I always work out in pajamas because like the workout clothes are so, that literally sounds like they took over my brain there. That sounded like a, Sometimes I say things that like I didn't even think that like someone else thought, but it came out of my mouth and I'm like, what the hell was that? Interesting. I just genuinely wanted to make just a nice, simple video. I can't even do that without talking about some crazy shit. The way I would explain the crazy shit I talk about in a way that would make sense to other people is like, think of like the Illuminati, okay? I don't know if that's a real thing. Just say I know that's like a theory that people know of. And they can just like control things. It's like they have some sort of like control over your brain. And that's sometimes what I feel like. That's what I have felt like randomly out the blue for the last 3 months. But I don't understand. It's like, there's a lot higher people to mess with if that were the situation. You know what I mean? Like, there's not, I would like 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that's enough for me. I'm happy with that. But like, there's people with 5 million. Go bother someone else. Like, please. And if you think I'm lying, look at the fact that Shane Dawson, one of the most famous YouTubers in the world, the one YouTuber that like, oh, there's like 5 I watch, but like one that I really watch all his videos. He randomly makes a video the other day about like, he's obsessed with bedazzling. Isn't that ironic? I will like secretly, like not secretly, I will openly like do something that is advertising something, but not even know that I'm doing it. Like why I just did it. I'm like, literally today I went to take a picture in the mirror, and I had to come over here because I could see it was in the background, and I wanted these backwoods to be in the back of the picture. And also, why did I cut the backwoods up and put them here? Like that's not something I would do. It's very weird. But then it's like you don't want to complain because you're getting a lot of good things too. Like a lot of like you're getting a lot of random good luck, and like things are working, and just like you're looking better, feeling better. So like, if this movie were real, then you just wouldn't really say anything. But she would test the system a lot. Like stuff that would like get you killed. You like try it all the time and like kill me. I'm waiting. Y'all know where I'm at. Come find me. Illuminati is like just meaning, when I see Illuminati, meaning a group of power and like things that I didn't know were possible. I have to listen to this over, like I don't want to listen to this. I just listen to the Eminem soundtrack on repeat over and over again. Poo poo. Get out of bed. She's a good girl. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. You sleeping? You going back night-night? I turned the light off, okay. You have to understand that, like, yes, conspiracy theories are not always true, and they're exaggerated, and they're made into different, fiction stories, but they're all based off of real things in the real world. That's what you have to understand, is that everything is based off of, like, maybe not a real thing. Like, I'm not saying that everything that happens in a movie is real, but everything that happens in a movie could be real if you think about it, because everything they're using to make that scene is real. So the possibilities are endless. It takes time for certain things to happen. Think about where we're gonna be in, say, 30 years. We'd probably be so far that we're time traveling, I would say. I would say 100% time traveling. 100%. I don't know. I don't even know who I'm playing anymore. I don't know what role I'm being forced to do right now. I don't. I think it's supposed to be me. Bitch, I don't know who that is. Show him your trick. Come on. Come on. Don't let doggy distract you. Come on. Come on. Stop distracting her. My dog has never barked. My dog before wasn't really a barker for no reason. I mean, she would bark if there was something at the door, or like someone rang the doorbell. Never just like barked at nothing. Literally, I've watched this dog stare at like directly in front of it and just bark. And like, I'm at a crazy level right now of things that I have experienced and seen, but I don't see the ghosts and stuff. If that were real, I don't like. Maybe I do. I do. I'm sure I just can't mentally process it. And that's what you have to understand, is like there's certain things that are happening. Your brain can't process it the way that maybe someone else's can. Dude, you know what's crazy? It was Paul. Paul is the psychic. Paul's this. I mean, I'm a little bit psychic, but Paul is the psychic, and I hate that Paul did that to me. It was in October. We were at Paul's house, and he said, I had one wish, and I was literally like, you're crazy, dude. Like, I thought he was just nuts. Like, this guy has good luck. Like, okay. And he said, what do you want? And I said, excitement, bitch. I did not know what I was signing up for, okay? I really didn't. As soon as I left Paul's house, literally 10 minutes down the road, I get pulled over. And at the time, I had a expired tag, was it an expired license? It was not good. It was not a good time to get pulled over. And ironically, when I get pulled over, he comes over to watch my car, and then he just leaves. Like, he looks at me and leaves. And I think that was so weird. I was like, something is going on. And then I had some good luck for a little bit, and then I had some really bad luck and like experienced some really, really low points in life. But I learned so much from them where I was like, okay, that was a blessing in some way. And that's what you don't understand is that God or whoever is operating this game, he works in mysterious ways, as people say, and he really does. So you might not understand the purpose of something, but it all has a purpose. And sometimes the lowest lows end up making like a save return at the end, and it ends up really good. But you have to put all the little pieces together, and you have to do everything. And it's all good things. You have to, loving yourself is the most important. That took me a while to finally like grasp it. And then you have to just stay positive through everything. I am at a point now where I can sit there and read 100 negative comments, but I'm still gonna keep doing what I want to do. Like, in the comments I get told all the time that I need to stop throwing punches, and my punches are like, first of all, I'm throwing those punches just for speed. It's a cardio. Like, I'm not throwing that to knock somebody out. If I were throwing a punch in real life, it would look a lot different. But you've probably never seen someone throw a punch in real life, so you wouldn't know the difference. I'm not talking MMA or wrestling. I'm talking like in the street. Most of you don't know what that would look like. So you probably shouldn't be talking about things like that. You probably should watch what you say to a lot of people, because a lot of people are more connected than you would think. I learned that one the hard way many times. Biggest life lesson I learned recently is to treat everything with equal respect. Everything. Animals, even just a little spider on the ground. I used to always stomp spiders and kill them. Now I have to pick them up with the paper and throw them out outside, because everything is living. Everything is living. Technically, these glasses right here are living. Well, that's a whole nother story. I can't get rid of those, but this... Be careful with glasses. They're not what you think they are. I'll tell you that right now. This Bible. This Bible is alive. It's a book. It's alive to some degree. I haven't fully registered that one yet, so it's hard to explain, because I haven't really explained it to myself yet. But it's something I'm processing. It's a theory I'm processing, I guess you could say. My mom was saying, like, theories aren't true, they're just drama. And I was like, yeah, but where do you think people get things? Or where do you think they think of things? They don't just appear in your head. And what was that game? It was like a board, Life, that's what the board game was. Man, who made that game? Because I need to talk to him. Like, imagine if someone killed you, okay? That's a harsh term. Someone killed you. And then, like, almost like cloned you, okay? Everyone knows what cloning is. That's a very real thing, too, so don't try to fight me on that one. And they cloned you and, like, put you into this, they made you into this different person. And, typically when done right, you don't really remember what you were before, and you just live this new life, and you have certain memories in your head that maybe were similar to the ones you had as your original self, and then you have new memories that just are kind of in there. But most people would lose track of who that person was. But imagine if you were in a situation where you were put in this new it's not even new body, it's just you were reborn. That's the best way I could explain it. But you still have half of the other person. So it's like you jump in and out. It's crazy. It's this person. I'm not in two different bodies. That's not the situation. But, and I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about just anyone, if this were to happen to someone. You're hanging on to this other person that you remember and that you created, so to say. But you wake up as that person and you have all this other information that you didn't learn. And you have experiences that you don't really remember happening. And it's the way I feel is the way that someone on a lot of drugs should feel. But the difference between that is they can get help and like cure the addiction and stop taking drugs. But I'm not on drugs and I don't have an addictive personality. Anyone that knows me knows that. That's like my one really strong suit is I'm very like I'm so motivated with my stuff that like I would never let a substance take over my life, because I mean, unless it's like benefiting me in that way. But like I do not believe in any like just like recreational drugs, like party drugs. Like I'm not saying I wouldn't do them. I'm saying I would not do them regularly. I wouldn't spend a lot of my money on them. I wouldn't feel like I need them. It's just not how I am. And I'm able to quit things very quickly. I smoked cigarettes for like 2 years, 3 years maybe. And then just 4 months ago, I just stopped. It was fairly easy. I don't think I was ever that addicted, so it wasn't too bad. But I also stopped drinking. I haven't drank, maybe a couple, like maybe like one beer here and there, but I haven't really drinking at all in the last 4 months. I don't miss that at all. There's nothing good that comes out of drinking ever. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna smoke weed, it's to go to the gym, do my workouts, do my stretching. Like that's my my Adderall. You know what I mean? Like because I used to take Adderall when I was a kid, because I literally could not focus at all. Like it was much worse than now. I was just like in a whole other world. And I remember the teachers thought I was dumb. And they just literally thought I had like nothing going on in my brain. I was like, oh, if you could see what's going on in my brain, there's a whole nother world in there. I just don't care about your world. Maybe I'm from Mars. Maybe that's what it is. Like, and I'm literally on another planet in my head. And she's like saying that to be funny. I'm like, bitch, I'm there for real. I just keep telling people my thoughts and nobody listens. And that's fine. I don't expect anyone to listen or believe me. But just open your eyes and watch how life plays out very soon, and then you'll be like, oh, wait a minute, she's not crazy. I keep looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, that's not me. Something's just off. Like, that's not me. It's not me. Like, here's what I want to know. Since when am I 5'10"? I'm like 5'10" now. Literally, my whole life. I mean, even like last time I was at the doctor, 6 months ago, I was like 5'8", and now I'm 5'10". People don't just like, it's not like gaining weight. You don't just like get taller at 23. There's a point where you have to just not fight it. You just have to accept like some really crazy, weird shit could be happening in this person's life, and they're gonna have to just deal with it. Just like you dealt with life before. You're pretty miserable for no reason at all, because you didn't see life from a different perspective. You didn't see it from higher up. There comes a point where you see it higher up and you see the whole game board, if that makes sense. So instead of just seeing like the starting line and seeing or hearing about the end line, you see it, and you see the way it maybe happened for you, and you think, man, if I could just change a couple of things, maybe it all would have played out differently. But you can't think like that, because some stories are longer than others, and some stories go up and down, and they have twists and turns, but when you look at it, at the end, it all kind of pieces itself together, and hopefully has a good ending, but not always, unfortunately. My thought on this coronavirus, the first thing that's going to happen is everyone's going to get cabin fever because people are not used to being locked up in a house with the same people or alone, you know. I've been locked up with people in very interesting situations for long periods of time. So I've dealt with that. I've also been alone for very long periods of time by myself. So this is cake for me. I love this. I'll try to get my voice back. My entire life is cabin fever, so imagine you got to watch two endings to a movie, the same movie, just alternate endings. And one ending was one that the character just kind of let happen. Which a lot of people let happen because they don't really live. They just kind of exist. And imagine the other ending was one that you created with your mind and your dreams and the things you wanted to do with your life, with yourself, and finding your passions and finding what actually makes you happy and experiencing all the ups and downs of life, because you can't just have one or the other. Imagine if you got to watch both of those and you knew you didn't want to end up like the other one. But there were some steps you had to take, rules you had to follow, things you had to get done to get the ending that you want. And I think that's what life is. Choosing your ending. Choosing the way you want this to go. It's not that complicated. If you really think about it, life is a game. Life is a game. It's that simple. But it's your game. You're designing it. You can do whatever you want with it. I don't know why they try to instill in our brains that there's limits and things that just aren't possible, because it's not true. There is nothing that's impossible. It's just the fact that not many people are willing to take it to that level and push it to that extreme.
Such as divorce, repossession, bankruptcy, problem credit, or no credit at all. It can be done. Call 1-800-NEW-LOAN and start driving again.